In this video, we'll be looking at the filter formula. Filter is used when you want Excel to return only rows that match a specific condition. So instead of manually sorting through a table, hiding rows, or copying and pasting data somewhere else, filter can automatically pull out what you need. Here, I have a small table with employees, departments, regions, and sales amounts. Firstly, let's show the manual way that you may have previously used to filter data. To put manual filters on your data, you could just select one of the cells within the data range, click into the Data tab, and then click on Filter. You notice that clickable arrows appear in each title cell, and from here you can click on one of the arrows, deselect all, and then select one or more of the items that you want to show. When you click Enter, the entire dataset filters down to your selection. So what if you want to keep the original data as is and play around with different filters to show variations on screen at the same time? This is where the filter formula can help out. The filter formula requires two parameters, with a third one being optional. The first one is the full range of data you want to extract. The second is the filter that you want to use to select data to include in the extract. And finally, the third optional parameter is what to display if the formula doesn't find anything that matches your filter. Let's look at an example. I'll continue this formula to pull data out of the list on the left. The first parameter is the full range or array of data, so in this case it's A2 to A9. The second parameter is the filter we want to use for included data. Let's pull everything in the sales team. So our parameter here will be to specify that for the full data range in column B, so B2 to B9 must equal sales. We can press enter here, knowing that we'll now see the filtered list for everyone in the sales team and the region and the sales totals for those people. Now let's see what happens if we edit the formula and change the filter to IT. When you press enter, you hit a perfectly useless error message. Now let's go back in and add in the third parameter. We'll type nothing found in double quotes, and when we press enter, it looks a little clearer. Now I'll put this one back to sales so that we have the data we want. Then I'll drop a couple of lines down and we'll pull out a different example. This time, let's type in this filter again. We'll pull out all the folks that work in the West region, and of course the related data. We'll also add in the parameter in case it doesn't find anything. Then, when we press enter, we show we have that filtered data here. And for our final example, we'll type the filter one more time. We're going to pull out all the folks that have more than 1,000 sales. So in this case, we don't use double quotes, as we're asking Excel to do a quick calculation on the fly. When we press enter, we get an error. We've covered this one in a couple of previous tutorials, and this is something that happens with the new dynamic array formulas, such as this one. And this is telling us that Excel can't spill the results into the cells below, as at least one of them is already being used. If I click back onto that spill cell, it conveniently gives us a blue box that tells us what cells it needs to give us the results. So we can clear out this random text, and when we press enter, we now see the results of all the people that have over 1,000 sales. And that's everything for the filter formula. It's a great formula for when you want to quickly pull matching records from a list without manipulating the original source data. If this video has been useful, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel for more Excel tutorials.